Welcome everybody to Entrepremommies. I am Tiffy T, the Resellqueen.
Hello, and I'm Nicole Flamer. How you doing out there?
Guys, we just want to thank you so much for all the listeners, new listeners that we've been getting. If you ever have any comments, questions, you just want to talk to us, send us a quick note. We'll respond.
Well, that's definitely.
Yes, we just want to shout out some of our new listeners. Thanks to these nice analytics, we can kind of see a little location of where everybody is. Mm-hmm. So we want to say hello to Oakland, California.
Oakland, thank you for listening.
Yes, I got some family out there. I wonder if it's them. We want to say hello to Newark, New Jersey.
Newark in the house.
Yes. Then we have Corvallis, Oregon. I have no idea where that is, but thank you. Thank you. And we want to say a nice hello to Texas. We got Dallas and Austin. What?
Moved to Austin, Texas. That's on my list of places to move. Yeah.
Oh, really? That's why you have some experience out there.
Yeah, I've been to Austin before, actually, for a couple of days. Yep.
Oh, wow.
I've been here before too, so. But I didn't get sites, but yeah.
I'm going to be going that route when I go to the ASD show.
Oh, okay.
My connecting flights is at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. Yeah, I can't remember if it's on my way back or on my way there. I think it's on my way back, so I'll get to experience. I think it's a 3-hour layover, so I'll actually have time to do stuff.
There you go.
Then we want to say hi to Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay.
And I want to say hi to Denver, Colorado.
Yeah. Oh, should we attempt this city in the Philippines?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Sorry if I mess it up. Baguio, Cordia, or Cordia City in Baguio in the Philippines. Thanks for listening.
Philippines. And we want to also say hello to Japan. Now, we don't have any demographics on where you're located, but we just want to say thank you. Thank you for listening. If we ever talk about something that you want a little bit more information, contact us, especially those who think that we're only talking to people in the United States. You know, we definitely have listeners in Canada, Mexico. So we'll be happy to look things up for you or see if we know someone that could help you with some business things in your country.
Yeah, we got
exactly. So we just wanted to just start off with just a rest in peace to Larry Tesler. Now, that's a name that you're probably like, who the heck is that? But let me tell you about Mr. Larry Tesler. Larry Tesler, he invented the cut, copy, and paste, and find and replace.
Okay.
Something that you probably do every day.
At least once, yeah.
Okay. It's because of him, it's done easily. I can't tell you how many times I copy and paste. I copy and paste all day. Yes. All day I copy and paste. So he passed away this week. He was 74 years old. He worked at Xerox, and then he eventually went to Apple. And he also did some work for Amazon and Yahoo.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, so he was 74. So he was obviously into computers before it was cool.
Well, we thank him because he's made life easier.
Honey, I didn't know who he was, but after I found out what he invented, I said, oh, thank you, Mr. Tesler. Rest in peace.
Yes. Okay. So that kind of, we could kind of go in from that because, you know, doing stuff like computers, that takes a certain type of mindset, you know, certain type of interest level. And one thing that I was thinking about this week is, especially we're Entrepremommies and we talk about, starting businesses, specifically if you're at home or you have kids or you want to do something part-time or you want to break away from the 9 to 5. But where do you start? Maybe you want to do this, but how do you think of the idea? Not just picking something because it's popular necessarily, but how do you come up with an idea that really fits your own personality? And how do you create value? Because even if you come up with an idea, you're going to knit leg warmers or something, crochet leg warmers. Is there any value in that? Are people really looking for that kind of thing? So I was thinking about when you are trying to find a business idea or something you want to start with things that you're passionate about, and then see if you can bridge over into how that passion can create value for someone else. So you got any thoughts on that, Tiff?
Well, it's kind of funny you talk about that because I think you and I talked about this personally. My husband and I purchased a vending machine.
Yeah.
No, it needed a little bit of work, and my job was to try and find a place to put it in.
Okay.
So I was having a little bit of problem because everyone kind of already had one, but then talking with people, I figured out it's not that they really want a new vending machine. They just need a service that's going to come and supply the vending machine.
Ooh, okay.
And so now I've kind of said, okay, let me put something else together to go back to these companies that said, we already got a machine. We just don't really keep it filled up. The employees, whoever used to do that doesn't work here anymore, or the company doesn't pay for it, or something like that. And in fact, there was a couple places that people that I kind of personally knew, just through every day, and they're like, we don't really need another machine. We just need to fill the one that we got. Okay. And so light bulb.
Ding, ding,
ding, ding. So I sat down with my husband. I said, well, we were already going to have to fill this machine. Now,
so already cost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now I'm working on, okay, let me get a contract together for supplying the stuff, because then it's going to be their machine, but we're going to fill it up. We need to put requirements on that they might need to have it maintenanced, something like that. I've been doing some research trying to figure out what is the split, basically, like how much we get and how much they get. Cause of course, they want some money, so it's, so I've kind of come up with 2 different things of either we can do a split, or you just pay us a certain amount monthly and we come in once a month or every 2 weeks and fill out the machine.
Right. Yeah.
So now I'm working on that. But I didn't walk in thinking that was even an option.
Right.
I was kind of walking in, and I literally did walk into some places saying, I noticed that you guys, may or may not have a vending machine here. I'm offering our services to put our vending machine, but I do see that you have one, or, trying to find out what works, what doesn't work for their customers or their employees. Okay. And I'm finding that the soda machines are fine. Normally they can make an account, but even some of them don't even have an account with some
really?
places.
Okay. Well, because I always thought with the soda machines, the Coke or Pepsi will give you the machine, but set up and fill it, Yes.
Some of them have that set up. Okay. But there's also machines that don't have Coke or Pepsi technically on it.
General machines. Okay.
Right. And those seem to be the machines that aren't being kept up with as far as being supplied. So with that being the case, it's now okay, what can I do? Which I can understand why they're not really being supplied. It's essentially, for where I am locally, we only have one food store.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So there's no way that a person's going to go to that place, buy the cans, go through that whole process and fill that up, because honestly, it's probably going to be too much money.
Right.
And so I've already had a plan that we were going to use the club stores to fill up our other places. So that's where I'm at now, of seeing if the club stores are the cheapest, or if we can set up an account somewhere.
Yeah, with a food service distributor. Yeah,
exactly. Because I mean, we're talking snacks.
Yeah.
Chips, some chocolates, and sodas.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
And I never would even have went that direction in the beginning, but it brought, after listening to other companies' problems, I decided to come up with a solution.
Yeah, and see, that's where you found someplace, a pain point, and then you found a way where you could provide value, and that's like the basis of starting any small business. I mean, that's what we're talking about, is if you, I mean, you don't have to, I mean, sometimes we get involved in different businesses because it's like, oh, okay, well, I could do this or whatever, you know.
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah, right. Well, right.
Yeah, that's how I started with Amazon. Like, because it was more for curiosity of, is this really true? Can I really make some money off of this? And then it went from, oh, I can do this.
I can do this, yeah.
You know? And it also, as my husband would say, it helped out my passion for shopping, because I had a purpose for my shopping.
That's right. Well, you might as well, right? You might
right.
But I mean, it's a way to free yourself too. I mean, I think, part of the reason why I like having my own businesses is I like the freedom. I like not having to be tied down to one income stream, not being, have to go to work. If I get sick, just personally, I was in the hospital for 3 days, and one thing I didn't have to worry about was I didn't have to call off work. It
proved that you were in the hospital.
My kids, my parents took care of my kids, thank God. But, I didn't have to worry about, okay. I didn't know how long I was going to be in the hospital either. That was the other thing. So I didn't have to go to my boss and be like, I'm sick, and worry about losing, Pennsylvania is an at-will state. So I could be fired for anything. I could be fired just because they feel like firing me. You know what I mean? These are all things, stressors and anxieties I didn't have to think about, because I didn't have to, I don't have a traditional job. So, and that's the freedom I like. And I think that's what, when you start your own business, and particularly if it starts to become profitable and popular and you're making real money and you're like able to support yourself, start with things that start with things that you can do. These are your passions. These are the things that you're going to be able to provide the most value to someone else, because they're important to you. Even if you're like creative, like if you're a writer or you're an artist, the things that you put most of your personality into, your books, your paintings, your photographs, your videos, what have you, those things are going to resonate with other people. They're going to feel that passion, and then add value to it. And don't undersell yourself either. Don't think just because you're a novice, or this is your first whatever, your first book, your first painting, your first photos, whatever, that you have to sell them at a discount. You have value just in your creation of it. So know that from the door, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because that's the other thing. People will be like, oh, especially if you're new at something, people will try to convince you that because you don't have experience or whatever, that doesn't have value. That's not true at all.
That kind of puts me in the mind frame of a couple shows ago when we talked about the curl smiler.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's a natural hair product, and it was to a point where, I guess back in January, she had people that were still owed orders from September. Oh my goodness. And she figured out that it came from her doing a sale for like $7.
Right. Okay. I remember.
Now, if she didn't sell for $7, I've been watching her and I see how she ships everything. She's shipping everything priority. I
Oh,
don't think
good.
I should make any money.
That's going to kill your bottom line. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So I don't see how she's making any money. And I think and it's a nice size tub that, that she sends it out in. So it's not like you're getting a small amount and you'll be ordering the next week.
Right. No, that's going to last you like 30, 60 days maybe.
At least like 30 days. It's according to, how much hair you have and how often you use it. But that's probably a good 2-month supply probably.
Right. Yep.
And that brought me to that mind frame of remembering what happened to her. Now, thankfully, she's kind of back up and running slowly but surely.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Because she's been able to get people's orders out, and she has what it looks like she does is when she's ready, she opens up her website and will post, I can do so many orders.
Okay.
Go order.
Yeah.
And then from there, her website gets shut down.
Okay. Oh, goodness.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good idea. However, I think it might be better just to put sold out on the product and say, join our mailing list so we can send you a message, let you know when it's available.
Yeah. And what she might want to do if she's going to do like a $7 sale, the first 10 are $7. The first 5 are $7. You know what I mean? So she's still getting that momentum.
Exactly.
I'm a firm, like I used to be, because I sell a product too, where it's like when you get sold out and then you have to wait to resupply it. But what I do is I don't ever sell out even if I'm sold out. So, because I figure if you want my product, you know what I mean? You're possibly willing to wait a week or so. My turnaround for my suppliers is 1 day. So if I sell out of something, my suppliers can get it to me by the next day if I put the order in time. But so I'm like, well, if somebody orders something and I sell out of it, it's only going to take me, it's only 1 extra day, mailing day, you know what I mean, that it's going to cost me. And most people, you got to understand your customer too. Most people have how long am I willing to wait for something? Now, if I buy something from Amazon, if we get to the 2-week mark and I haven't gotten it, I'm like, oh, I must have ordered it from China. Didn't realize.
Yes.
But if it's the local person, when we get to the 2 weeks, I'm emailing like, hey, what's going on, But usually most people have like a 2-week window where they're willing to accept, unless they pay extra for shipping and then they want it the next day or 2 days or 3 days. But but that's for Amazon. But if I'm doing like a mom and pop shop or something, I might do 3 weeks that I'll be willing to wait for my product to come before. Like, really? I think we all learned that we don't know quite who's on the other end of the internet who we're buying from sometimes. So it's like, it could be somebody who's around the corner, or it could be somebody who's ocean away. So.
Yeah, literally, because they disguise those things. I remember I ordered something and I was waiting for it. And I contacted them and they finally sent me like a tracking number. And I'm like, well, y'all could have did this a while ago. Right. I got the tracking number and it started with the L.
Oh, no. Like China Post.
Oh, and what made me mad is, and I know this probably sounds petty, but they said they were a Black-owned business. So I just expected that it was coming from the United States.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, really? I was hot. But it did show up.
I put a disclaimer on my website. I say that some of our products are from distributors overseas and some of them are from local. Please inquire. And people will send me messages and be like, where's this shipping from? And, I'm like, oh, it's shipping from Texas or whatever, or it's shipping from China or something. But I do put a disclaimer on my website because when I first started drop shipping, majority of my products were coming from China. and I had one lady order something, and she was like, oh, she ordered something like oh, what is that stuff? This stuff the kids like, the squishy
that
stuff.
slime
Stuff with the foam slime. She ordered
stuff.
and it didn't come in like a week. And so then she's like, oh, when's this coming? I thought it was going to be here in like a week. And I was like, oh, no, that's coming from China. Sorry. Then after that, I said, I better put a disclaimer so people understand that they could be waiting a week or they could be waiting 3 weeks, you know? So I hate this time. The coronavirus and the Chinese New Year, they just really, you know.
Yeah, it kind of messed things up. Like, I actually just yesterday, I was told by my supplier they're shipping
coronavirus because I know people are dying of it. You know what I mean?
right. Oh, I understand. Yeah, but but it's still, it's like you expect one thing because we already knew about the Chinese New Year, and then this coronavirus shows up, and you're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
You know, so it's well, for me, in fact, my supplier got to me yesterday and said your items are shipping. So I was like, everything? Because, you know, so we shall see. So I'm giving them 2 weeks.
Yeah.